And I mean, it's great because it never needs a truss rod adjustment because the tension's pulling actually this way, which is actually making the neck straight. It's counter function or counter tension on the truss rod. It's doing the opposite of what normally a headstock would pull this way. This headstock design pulls this way. It's great. You know, it's perfect base, plays awesome. That doesn't buzz, never needs a truss rod adjustment. But unless you want to pay, you know, a ridiculous amount of money and buy a new base, which, you know, you can. I mean, I'll make them. It's not feasible for people that already own. It looks cool. Some people do. Guitar players would never go for it. But in this case, this bass is awesome. But unless you want to you already own a bass and you're happy with your bass, there's some problems that will make it. There's ways to make your bass much better. So I figured, well, you know, I try to make something that's more user friendly. I mean, I sell these basses. You can buy them. They're cool. But not everybody has lots of money to spend on a new bass. So I was thinking and thinking. So my second design, which is even cooler but funnier, was this one, which is like almost like a violin design. There's a company out there that makes something like this. In this case, the machine heads are installed like an upright bass. This one has a truss rod again, but when it works well, you don't really need it. It's pulling from the center of the headstock instead of from the top of the headstock, just like an upright bass. It looks cool. I can make them again. This is another custom shop piece that I make. The headstock's thicker, so it doesn't move at all. You don't get any flexing out of it. But again, you'd have to go out and buy a new bass from me, which would cost you a lot of money, and it takes me like years to make because I'm so behind. So thinking and thinking and thinking, you know, I decided, well, I'll make a new machine head. That maybe if I make a machine head, I can control where the string comes out and then tighten up the headstock. So I have two basses here to begin with. I'm going to show you, which is they're identical basses. This is what you call basically a P bass, standard P bass, one-piece neck. You know, I'll plug it in. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we plug it in. Oops, I better turn it down so I don't clip out. Sorry. Why this is a lot louder than that one. Alright, I have two identical P basses. One has my tuner modifications, the other one is this one here. The first thing you notice, I'll tune it on my tuner, but it's A. I tuned it before. D, okay. You know, these tuners, like, they stink because, you know, you go past the note, you come back, you try to hit the note, trying to find a note. You stretch the string a little bit, and you're back to where you were. So you go past the note, you come back, but guitar players have everything in the world. They make everything for guitar players, but bass players, you know, they don't get much. So I'm here to save the day. So here's basically a P bass. Now, a standard P bass has, yes, a string retainer, which does that wonderful thing of pulling up on the string. You can see it on an angle. It's like exactly what it's doing. See how it's pulling up here? And of course, it's a standard P bass, so grab the headstock. You can't see it, but if you could, the headstock's actually vibrating. Actually, this is so bad I can actually grab the machine head and make it go bad. Just by grabbing on the machine head. So you got that problem. So by the headstock vibrating like this, it's killing your notes. Dead spots are caused by a couple different issues. But this is also putting so much tension on this truss rod, it just keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You tighten, 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 but eventually it stops working, and you have to go to like some professional to have either the truss rod rethreaded, or they take the bullet out and put more nuts in. My design really takes away a lot of that tension on the neck, so your truss rod will function better. They're also more precise in the tuning, which drives me crazy when something doesn't tune. When you pass it, and then the strings, see how the strings wrap around each other? You know, they have wraps. So the string's wrapped on top of the other string. So every time you pull, it pulls itself into itself. So if I pull real hard, out of tune again, because every time it's pulling, it's stretching. You know, you have these wraps, and the wraps are crushing each other. Company like Godo, they make HAP tuners, height adjustable. You need wrenches. Everybody loves wrenches. Sprizels are great. You know, you need, you tighten the string and it locks, and you can position it a little bit, but you don't have total control over the position. The other issue is they don't retrofit right on what you already have, which is you need an open gear. Actually, I'm going to make every single gear for every bass that's available, so you'll be able to buy anything. Because tilt backs have the same problem. Actually, I hate tilt backs even more because they actually cause more problem, and people just learn to accept it. So if you have a tilt back headstock, meaning that it's glued on with a scarf joint or a three-piece neck that goes back, it's like 12 degrees or 14 degrees, like a Les Paul headstock. It's pulling even harder on the neck and doing more of the putting the bow in there, the warp. So this bass, we'll play a little bit. Oops, can't see it. Uh-oh. That note's gone. I don't know what that note is. It's two notes, not just one. These are all dead spots. Now, people say, oh, it could be the frets. Well, actually, it's not the frets, because I'll show you something right now. Hear this note? That's the worst one. So that's your 8th fret. The 8th fret on this bass is the worst. Okay? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to change the tuning. I'm just going to drop it down a little bit. Just a little bit, like that. Well, not a little bit, but a lot. But watch. This note is now going to ring perfectly clear. Like there's no problem. There it goes. 8th fret, same one. Little buzz, that's fret buzz, but so turn it back up again, gone. So that proves that it's not the frets, it's actually the problems caused by the note itself. Okay. So how to get rid of dead spots, how to fix a headstock, how to make things stop moving, how to get rid of that. So I thought and thought and thought, and then I came to me after all these different designs that the best thing I could do is make a replacement machine head for every bass out there that every bass player would have. So what I want to do is so I'm thinking, and I came up with an idea, so I designed a new machine head, I patented it, I've gone to the manufacturers, I'm having them made now, I made prototypes in-house, and my original idea was mainly to fix the truss rod issue, because that just drives me crazy. Necks changing all the time. You might not realize, but if you ever notice that your action gets higher one day, next day it feels a little better, it's not in your mind. It's the truss rod's moving. It has to do with humidity, temperature, where you are. I don't know about altitude, but maybe. So all I wanted was a bass that you can plug in and be sure you don't need to take it to somebody to have adjustments. I was so bad. I used to keep a truss rod wrench in the guitar when I played it, just because I had made adjustments throughout the gig as the room heated. And dead spots can move around with heat. Right. So, I got the exact same bass, but I did my headstock modification. My machine head modification, I'm sorry. So it's a exact same thing, same bass. Came out in the same box. Just a different version. So I made these machine heads as a test. And right away, I don't know if you can hear, which I hope you can. it's much tighter. And the tuning is ridiculous. You go right into the note. You don't go over, you don't go under. It's below. Okay, I'll bring it out. I mean, the precision of these machine heads is crazy. Next thing you'll notice right away is, hey, there's no string tree. Look, I got rid of that string tree, and by doing that, now the strings are directly off the nut. They go where you want them. On this machine heads I've designed, you can actually put the string anywhere you want it on the machine head. You don't have to just, go where it's going to go. You can actually control anywhere on the machine head. The best thing you can do is to get it as low as possible. Now that will do is that makes the headstock stronger. So you can see now, if I grab the machine head and shake it, you hear it's not going, it's not fretting out. Now I could do it if I grab it like this and pull it. Yeah, of course. I mean, anybody can do it because I'm fighting tension. But in general, if you just, you grab it, you wiggle it, it's so much tighter. Now, can I get rid of it? Yes. Do I have to make a new bass for you? Yes. Or, you can use this, which the headstock here is not vibrating at all. There's no vibration. The headstock's not shaking. The headstock's locked solid. Because the tension of the string is so close to the headstock, I don't have all that extra tension pulling the truss rod. So immediately, when I string this up, I got to loosen the truss rod because it takes all that tension off from that the headstock's causing. So I was very happy about that. But then I noticed that the notes are a lot cleaner. They're a lot stronger. They ring a lot better. So not only does it tune better, stop the headstock from shaking, fixes the truss rod issue, but now the notes are the same strings. I mean, same company, but immediately. Alright, that's a buzz because that's a fret buzz because it's a low end bass. But now, like I said, you can't get rid of dead spots immediately, but what this thing does is it actually, see, that's another out of tune move, but they're not as bad as they were before. I can change the tuning a little bit, like I did before, and get rid of dead spots altogether. So the machine heads are just amazing. But I think the biggest thing is that you save your truss rod, the headstock don't vibrate, so don't kill your sustain. And you can hear how much stronger you get punches right away. Now remember, I'm not a bass player, I'm a guitar player. So my bass licks are like guitar players.